Albini here. I wanted to share my pregnancy and postpartum story because I don't think that postpartum depression is talked about enough, and I wanted everyone to know that you're not alone and it does get better. So my story actually starts while I'm still pregnant. My pregnancy, it went well, but I gained a lot of pregnancy weight. I had a really big baby. So by the end of it, all of the fluid and the baby and the extra blood and everything you carry around was about on its own 30 pounds. And then I also gained a lot of weight off of fruit, of all things. Just binge eating fruit. And of course some ice cream. But I tried to stay away from artificial sugars, but I guess for no good reason, because I ballooned on fruit. So anyway, it was just kind of hard. I hurt. My stomach was huge. There was no room left to expand by the end of it. I was injecting hair follicles. I was just like so stretched out. There was no room for him to get any bigger by the time he was ready to, or not ready to come out. And I had an appointment to figure out the sex of the baby. Both my husband and I wanted to figure it out of curiosity, and it was either figure out on that day or wait until pregnancy stopped, until birth. Wait until birth, because the clinic was just really busy. There was no appointments left until I was due. So I had an appointment. He was supposed to visit me there, meet me there, and the day happens, and I have my normal morning. I think everything is fine. I realize I left my phone upstairs about 10 a.m. So I go upstairs, get my phone. I have 14 missed calls. So it turns out that my husband has been hit from behind when he was stationary in a traffic jam on the bridge. And he was hit from behind at about 60 miles an hour, spun and flung into the barrier. And he was trying to get a hold of me to let me know he was going to go to the ER. And when he gets to the ER, his phone dies. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening, how hurt he is, etc. And he has no way of contacting me. I can't find him because no one can find him for me. No one, if you have someone in the ER, they don't know, the hospital doesn't know whether or not they're in the ER or not. They don't know who's there and who's not there until you're actually admitted into the hospital. So no one can find him for me. And I go, okay, well maybe he'll meet me at the appointment still. So I go to the appointment and he's not there. So I have a very traumatic appointment of not knowing the status of my husband, whether or not I am a single mom, or how hurt he is, or, if this is a life-changing event, what's going on. I don't know. So I have the nurse practitioner put the results in an envelope, and we recover for a couple of days and find out later. But I go 8 hours that day without knowing what's going on with my husband, his status and everything. And he comes home very hurt but alive, and which I'm grateful for. But I am shaken a little bit by that. And about a month later, I am, the labor hits, and it's a really long labor, and I am doing physical activity, trying to get the baby to want to come out. I clean, I re-carpet the stairs, I do projects that I think will kind of keep things going. Baby doesn't want to come out. Finally, I go, this is ridiculous, and I go to the hospital, and we induce me. It's technically a threatened labor, because my son did not want to come out, and he got really sluggish, my heart rate spiked, everybody was in danger. He finally comes out, and he's healthy and fine. After a couple of days of observation, I'm released. But it was a difficult encounter with my husband's accident, and then a difficult painful pregnancy, and a difficult delivery, and then here I have my beautiful baby boy, and I am not in the headspace that I thought that I would be in. I am scared to have him breathe car exhaust fumes. I'm scared to have him breathe cigarette smoke, or have him breathe, just smoke from the fire. I don't want him exposed to anything. I don't want him exposed to COVID, obviously, or the flu. I don't want him in any sort of danger. I'm even worried about like large birds being able to take him away. Anything that I do around the house, from changing the garbage out to doing dishes to cooking to sweeping, anything, I have these, terrors. I terrorize myself with how that act could potentially harm my son. I can't even take a bath. I have to take showers. It's just really, really torturing myself. And I finally go, okay, well, this isn't safe for my mental health. I was safe. My son was safe. I was just, you were fine. Mama was not. Mama wasn't fine. You were fine.
Jackson was completely healthy 100% of the time.
He was fine.
Great.
He was fine. Very happy baby. He had no idea anything was wrong. But I was stuck in the house. I couldn't drive with him. I went for his routine physicals and stuff. My husband had to actually take time off of work to come and drive us, because I couldn't even drive with my son in the car. I was too scared. And I worked with a therapist. She diagnosed me with postpartum depression, anxiety, and agoraphobia, and also some PTSD from stuff before the pregnancy and from my husband's accident. And it was just really hard. It really, really, really sucked. I pushed myself really hard to get better, too. I would push myself to, the porch, and then back, and then the end of the driveway, and back, then the street, and then the block. And I had support from my husband, a really lovely neighbor, and my family, of course, that would go on these walks with me. And then I could gradually go on them alone, and I would, in the panic attacks, kind of I could always, breathe through them and, and keep safe, but they were panic attacks, which were horrible, which, I'm sure you know, but they became less and less frequent, and at the time of recording this video, my son's 11 months old, and I am panic attack free. I can drive him around in the car. I can, I got a pretty good hold of my agoraphobia, and anxiety and depression. I still have traces of all of the above that I was diagnosed with. I'm not cured by any means, but I can take my son to the park. I can, I can function. I've got tools of dealing with things, and I'm not terrorizing myself all day, every day, with every little thing. Nasty thoughts still come into my head, but it's important that people realize that is a part of postpartum depression. Is thoughts, scary thoughts, worrying about every little thing, looking and analyzing all of the possible dangers to your child, which, evolutionarily speaking, is great. You want to be on your toes and notice the cougar, but in the modern era, it's really, really unpleasant, and it's pretty unnecessary. I think we know to, not leave our children alone in the bath. We think we know better, and we are intelligent beings, and I think in this modern era, it's just really, it's an unfortunate vestigial aspect of the human condition that we torture ourselves with all these horrible thoughts, and just key into all the potential dangers, and it's just really, really unhelpful. But I am, I'm a lot better. My husband obviously is still recovering. He can't carry our son around. He's in too much pain. He had to switch careers. Physical therapy helps some, but he is, his accident forever changed him. And it changed my relationship to driving. He still stays off the highways for the most part. It really had a really big impact on us and on me. And I just wanted to share that it is possible to go from stationary fetal position on the couch all day and not being able to leave the house to being able to function just fine. So I just wanted to share that because it is important that people realize that postpartum depression is natural and normal, and anxiety is natural and normal. Everything about you as a person has changed, after you become a mom. It's okay, baby.
It's okay, Dixon.
You've got your daddy. You're doing so well. You're doing so good. Yes, you. There's a smile. There's a smile. Your hormones are all different. Your body feels and looks different. How you relate to the world looks different. What's important has gravitated heavily towards your child. You're not you anymore. All your hobbies have gone out the window. You're exhausted. Sleep deprived, which was a form of torture, by the way. Sleep deprivation is a form of torture. Acknowledged form of torture. You're not you anymore. So it is normal to not be okay after you have given birth. And I thought that it was important that I add to the voices that are saying that, and I hope that you have found this helpful. And if you're going through the same thing and you do not have the support that I was so desperately lucky to have, please try and reach out to a therapist if that's not an option for you. There's a free app called 7 Cups, the number 7 and then the word spelled out cups, and it is a free group of listeners, of people that you can talk to, and they will listen to you and be supportive. And they probably have more resources out there for figuring out therapy options for you if payment for therapy is not an option. But 7 Cups is free, and I highly suggest it. And I wish you the best health and best of luck, and happy, healthy you, and happy, healthy children. And I hope that this was helpful. Subscribe. Thanks.